Frank will be in a little bit. He's got to just go through all the commercials. And then he's got to subscribe again for the fifth time. Which is a reminder for everybody out there to subscribe or resubscribe. And also follow me on YouTube as well. I would appreciate it. Because there's like 6 or 7 subscribers that need to do that now. So I appreciate it. Mr. Frank in the chat in the house. Plus, if you are one of the many people that watch this after the fact, it's a lot of noise in there. After the fact on YouTube, I appreciate all the follows, and also, you know what, jump on sometime live and see this on the Twitch. Jump into the chat, hang out with us. Exactly. Yeah, up until 11 a.m. it was a Category 1 hurricane, but now it is just a tropical storm, and it's lingering due west of Jacksonville, going at like 8 miles an hour. So it's going to be hanging around for quite some time. But just windy and some rain, no big deal. You always say that the roof blows off. It probably will not be on for long today. At some point, Frank has to pack, and I gotta ship him off to the airport. But until then, here we are. I'm not gonna do any writing right now. I just don't feel like it. We'll do when Frank comes in. We'll do our wrap up of MandoCon 4. And that'll be it. Excuse me. I will write today because I wrote a lot this weekend. I wrote about over 13,000 words, probably about 14,000 words or so in 3 days, which is pretty good. I'm almost back to where I need to be for the year. I think I'm like 8,000 or 9,000 words behind. So between now and October 1st, I need to make those words up. So should not be that big of a deal. I don't think. So hopefully people will be jumping on.
Who can say?
Who can say? Cat's like, he's coming in here, I'm out of here.
Having none of that.
None of that. There's Mr. Frank.
Do everything reverse of what I see.
Yeah. That's why I usually block that, because it's usually just...
It's jarring.
It's more annoying than anything. Especially when I can see that. And then there's usually on this screen, there'll be a little one here. So I can watch that one, and that one's like the real-time one. But
that's better too.
But then I'm like doing stuff, and then I'm looking over. I'm like, why is 7 seconds ago I did that? Kind of thing.
All very confusing. You kids and your new gadgets.
Yeah, I don't understand any of this stuff. And when it doesn't go well, I'm all freaked out over it. But you know, my bit rate is good.
Where's your bit rate?
Right there, bit rate. See, it's
bit
in green.
Good. Oh,
it's
good for
green.
that.
Yeah, once it's in.
It's usual because there's storm out. And you.
Winds and.
That's when you start complaining about your bit rate.
Yeah. So we're good. So, what are your initial? Don't get in too deep because we don't have any viewers really yet, except for you.
Why bother? YouTube.
So why even bother? Yeah, for the people on YouTube, what is your key takeaway from this weekend?
Key takeaway from this weekend. Well, the biggest thing is I've had like probably the slowest year I've had writing wise, output wise. So I practically doubled my word count on the year in 3 days.
Right.
and it's not because necessarily like a lack of motivation, a little bit of that, but just everything else getting in the way, work, life, all that stuff. So it's been a rough year that wise. So it feels good to bump up that word count big time, and hopefully I can use that as a jumping off point to keep the ball rolling. We'll see.
Yeah. So you don't have a set day, time, place, anything that you're like, I'm writing set number of hours a week or every day or any of that stuff?
No, I mean, my routine is, get up in the morning, get my coffee, futz around online, and then try to write for half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, even if I can. That's about, as much as I can definitely cram in a day, and get between. I could have my 300-word day or my 1,000-word day.
Right. But obviously, it sounds like you haven't had many of those this year. So
no, it's been rough this year. When the kids are at school and I miss the bus, and then there goes my riding morning type of thing, or something happens at work, I got to go in earlier than expected. It's been a lot of that kind of junk been going on and holding me back.
Do the kids being home for summer, does that affect you, or are they old enough now they just sleep in all day?
Yeah, it's a sleep in all day thing. So like now that they're off, there's not that morning rush. That was the other thing. I try to wake up early enough to be up ahead of them and be writing and typing, get my day going before all that chaos starts, because that's when the chaos. If I try to, like, as they're leaving for school, and this one forgot my badge, and can you bring this? I forgot my notebook, bring it to me at school, and that just, all that stuff just ruins any like chance you have of it. So
having kids is not great for you creatively. Pretty much at all. Now, are you the kind of person that you're at work and you're just like thinking of stuff, taking some maybe ideas, writing some ideas down, taking some notes or anything, or do you just, I got to focus on work?
Work is like I got to focus on the work type of thing. I used to have a job years ago where I could sneak in writing during the workday, which was awesome. But the job I'm at now it's far too demanding. Mentally focused on what I'm doing there and stuff. So I don't get a lot of like writing time snuck in at work, unfortunately.
Which I guess is good. Now, do you ever get where your ideas are hitting you despite other stuff, or you're on your ride home, you're listening to the new Keel album, and then you're like, oh, I got an idea for something, and do you get home and try to work on it, or you just know my wife's home, the kids are home, dinner's coming, I'm just gonna...
Yeah, and I get home later than normal because I work a later shift. So I might be getting home 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and just drained by that point. For a little while, I was able to kind of write after work between waiting for dinner and getting home. But just the last 5 years or so, it's been more of like I'm just mentally drained on the day, on the job, and so that's why like my writing has to happen.
And that takes a lot out of you too.
It does,
doing all that. You're just like, you know what? I'm home. I'm gonna grab a White Claw, watch a Shark Week show, and then dinner.
I just want to.
At some point, we're gonna have dinner, and don't worry about it.
And because I'm getting home late, it's just like unwind, eat dinner, maybe watch a little bit of TV, read, and bed, and So I try to make my mornings. It's just been the most best time to get the writing in.
Now, is your thing for reading? Is your thing like I got to read every day?
Yeah, I try to read every day as much as I try to write every day, and it's actually easier to, pick up a book if you read a chapter or whatever. Right. That's just easier. It's less. Because it's mindless. I'm not like trying to learn anything. Right. I mean, it's entertainment.
Tom Duffy in the house.
Tom Duffy in the house.
Probably driving right through a hurricane right now.
I heard he's home in New York.
He's already home in New York.
Yeah,
well, that's excellent. Great. No traffic on the way. Yep, Tom is on his way heading north toward home right now. So Frank's the only one left. We had 9 of us writing. So now we're down to me and Frank. But I'm not writing. I'll write later. I'll write something later on. Lots of trucks. Yep, lots of trucks on the road. That's what I would imagine. Watching the Weather Channel like an old man all morning. I just see a lot of cars on the road, which is ridiculous. Get to safety, people. Get to safety. That's probably why nobody's on right now, because everybody's worried about this storm.
It'd be funny if it was Tom's car that we saw on the Weather Channel stuck in a pond.
Stuck in a pond.
The guy got out, but he left Jess in the car. We couldn't see that.
Jess is still sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ooh, my stomach keeps making noises.
You're rumbling.
I've had way too much food this weekend.
A food. You know what my biggest takeaway from MandoCon 4 is? My gut.
Yeah.
That was it's not an often spoken about part of the thing, but it is a feast every night.
Yeah. And then just the snacks and all the other
all that
cookies and M&Ms and everything. Oh, just ridiculous amount of food. The ridiculous amount of food that I'm going to have to eat, because this is what my wife will do. She'll be home tomorrow. She'll work from home tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But then Wednesday she'll go to the office. And then what she'll do tomorrow night is she'll be like, I'm going to pack some of these cookies up for the people that I work in the office. And I'm like, no. Even though I shouldn't eat them, I've had more than enough cookies. Like
somebody pay for a window look, because I'm looking out.
Yeah,
some guy just
some
ran by,
dude jogged by.
Like the apocalypse isn't happening out there.
like we're on the Weather Channel, reporting from the Weather Channel, and somebody was running by. So then I'm like, stop giving all the food away. You know, unless I don't want to eat it. Like, don't give the M&Ms away. Don't give the cookies away. I'll eat that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
All that broccoli though.
Yeah.
Out the door.
Yeah. People. Man, my stomach is.
I wonder if
it's howling.
The cameras are picking that up. The microphones.
I hope so. Yeah, we're watching the Weather Channel, and the lady's in Tampa, and she's like trying to make it like, oh, look at the waves, look at it's choppy, blah blah blah, and there's some dude behind her, bending down doing a selfie, him in the water. And I'm like, yeah, everybody's really scared. And there's like 1,000 cars behind her driving by. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And then the other one, wherever they were, the people are there's a couple guys out there surfing, which you always get, which I think is funny. Oh, stay inside, everybody! It's dangerous out here. Conditions, blah blah blah. Like those guys got some big waves out there, though. I'm sure down here in Daytona, I'm sure there's a million people out. I used to work with a guy, Josh, and he would go to Ponce Inlet because they have it's the inlet, you know. So all the water. They have like the barrier reef kind of thing, and then all the bait fish come in, so all the sharks come in, but the waves are huge breaking against that. And anytime there was any kind of hurricane or storm, he was like automatically like, oh, I gotta go surf. I can't work today because I'm going surfing. It's like, well, I don't think we're gonna work anyway, because you know there's a hurricane coming, so we'll probably be off again anyway.
Surf's up, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, so that's that. I purposely didn't overdo it as well. You know, like I was done early. The first day, I think I was the first one done.
Yes.
Because I just like, you know what, I just want to hit this in the morning. Talking about Frank's surfing stories. Yeah, many surfing stories. You missed like the first hour.
Jelly roll in the house.
Jelly roll. that was fun. That was a highlight.
Jelly roll.
That was a highlight. So Ben's a big dude. And, you know, he's one of those guys that you look at me like, he reminds you of somebody. Alex from Iowa was what I said. But then Frank, I was in my office, and Frank's out there. He's like, let me take a picture with you. And I was like, oh, that's nice. You know, he's being nice to the new guy who just, you know, popped in on Saturday morning to hang out with us. And then he's like, oh, you know, can't wait to show everybody a picture of me and Jelly Roll. And I thought that was hysterical.
He caught me from the side, like when I got the profile,
and
it was like the hair and the beard just matched.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you for a Sharpie so I could tattoo up his face, but I was like, you know, this is only the first time.
Yeah, next time you see Ben,
you
tattoo his face. Yeah, you gotta have him perfect. The tattoo's perfectly drawn.
Yeah.
So that was funny. Chad Hoey in the house.
Chad Hoey in the house.
Well, your goats are going to get wet 7 or 8 days from now when this storm finally gets to you. So you're going to have a lot of wet goats in pajamas, I believe.
Where's Chad again? Is he in New York?
He's in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's almost like New York.
It's almost like New York, yeah.
It's like New York.
Southern New York. Or something like that. But yeah, we did, Friday we did 9 to noon, had lunch 1 to 5. And then Saturday, we had Clay County writers here and Ben. So we had like 4 extra people in the morning from 10 to lunchtime. And then we ate lunch, and then we basically wrote from like 1 to 5. And then it was 9 to 12, and then 1 to 5 yesterday. Or actually, 9 to 11, we had brunch. Yes. And then 12 to 5, so.
How'd you do on Saturday when we started late? I found that was actually, for some reason, it felt harder to get started.
Yeah, well, I had to do with I had to talk.
Yeah.
And do all that, and then worry about people weren't going to leave before lunch, and I was, so I get all that psychotic BS in my head. Yeah. So when we finally, it's like, okay, it's 1 o'clock, and sitting down, and a lot of people were still talking, and I was like, I just want to say, everybody shut the fuck up and go start writing.
It's time.
It's time. And then I use that as an excuse of not doing what I was supposed to do. And my goal was only 3,000 words. I mean, I hit it.
Yeah.
But it was tough to get back into that.
So I was able to look at my word count from last year when we went to the library for your meeting.
Right.
And I don't know why, but I like 4,000 plus words last year. And I only set myself for 3.5 this year.
Right.
And hit it, but it seemed to take more out of, less productive or something. Yeah. I don't know. The other thing too I found in past years, if I hit 5,000, I would keep writing up to 6,000 or just whenever I was done.
Right.
And where this year, I hit the 5,000. I'd go a little bit past, but I didn't write for another hour. I felt like I'm done now.
I didn't want to burn out. Like I didn't want to do. Oh, I did 10,000 words on Friday.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I had nothing that I was working on that was going to be finished. Mm-hmm. No matter how many words I wrote. Right. Unless I wrote like 40,000 words in 3 days, which wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I knew, okay, really, it's easier. Me and Tom are co-writing that second book, and we haven't gotten a lot into it. 20,000 words. So it was like, okay, good. Tom's here. On Wednesday, me and Tom wrote a lot. On Thursday, we got to write a little bit. So Friday, it was like 2 or 3 chapters each. So out of the 5,000 words, like on Friday, out of the 5,000 words, I wrote, 2,400 of those was me and Tom.
Right.
So that really helped. And then just for me to be like, okay, I got to write on something else. I got to write on Down and Dirty 3. I got to Nazi Treasure. I got to write on other things just so I hit that 5.
Right.
That was like the and it got to the point like on Friday where I was like, all right, I need like 69 words to hit 5.
Yeah.
And I literally wrote 69, like exactly 69 words halfway through a sentence, and I'm like, I'm
done.
It's 3 o'clock, and I don't want to sit here and stress for another 2 hours.
Right.
And my back was killing me because we don't normally sit at the dining room table for dinner or in the kitchen for. We sit on the couch. Or we don't sit at the counter. My back is killing me from all those chairs.
Yeah.
So like I was, and I'm normally way more active moving around.
Yeah.
So for me to get like 2,000 steps in for the whole day is crazy.
Yeah.
So, you try to, as an old man, you try to remember that stuff. Oh, my back's hurt. My knee is killing me today.
Uh-huh.
With all that. So I was like, I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to write for 3 days and then not write for the rest of the month, kind of thing. Like just be totally burned out where day after day I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I hit the goal, and Friday I hit the goal. That was it. And then even like on Thursday I did like literally like 3,000 words. It was just like, that's enough. And the same thing with and I had a little more yesterday. But me and Tom each wrote an extra chapter. I think we got about 20 to 22,000 done since Wednesday. Yeah, we did a good third of the book. Tom and I wrote from Wednesday to Sunday, so that was really good. And also for me, the motivation of, okay, Tom finished a chapter. Now I have to finish. I'm on the clock. I have to finish this chapter. So there was like that little mini deadline every time, which really helped. But then also on Friday, it was my turn. It was like 3 o'clock, and I was like, I could write another chapter first. I don't know what the next chapter is. I don't want to burn myself. I don't want to write. I hit my words. We're good. Let's move on. It's funny because, some people's goals, like my goal is 5,000 words, and some people was like 3,000. But I hit mine right away. But I do this. This is what I do for a living. And then there's other people that are like, click, click, click. You just hear them typing and typing and typing and typing. And then it's like 4:30, they hit 3,000 words. And I'm like, what are you typing?
Yeah.
In my mind, like, obviously you got to where you want to go, but in my mind, I'm like, what are you actually typing? That you're doing emails, you're doing other work. What else? What else?
Going on over
what
there?
else are you doing?
Yeah, I try to. If I'm writing, and those pauses. Open up
Well, and also I do it. I write. I use the Mando method.
Right.
Writing. So I'm writing for like that 15-minute burst. Except when me and Tom are writing, I just want to finish 2.5 pages and be done and send it back to him as quick as I can. But the other stuff, then once I send it to him, then I'm like, I'm going to play Minecraft for half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I need a break. Mentally, I just need to not think about any of these books or any of these stories.
Yeah.
And not stressing like I used to do, and going, what, this isn't. I'm not doing NaNoWriMo. This isn't. I got to do 1,700 words a day, or I'm behind and all this other. Like, there's a reason I didn't do NaNoWriMo last year. There's a reason I'd probably never do it again, because I don't want that stress. I mean, it's hard to create. It's hard to do this, but there should also be fun to it.
Right.
It's not. You can't have it where once this is a job, and you're pulling teeth to get words, then that kind of starts to suck.
Yeah, and you're not the guy that can spit out the 50,000 words without
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
If you're a 25,000 word
and
guy.
as a pantser, it's even tougher because you don't know what the next chapter
definitely
is going to be. I need that. I write for 15 minutes, and then I go and I play Minecraft for half an hour, and I go get a cup of coffee, and then I'm in there going to the bathroom, and then an idea will hit me in that 45 minutes or so. Something will hit me of, this would be a good idea or I got an idea for another book or something. You need like mentally, I need to step away from it. Mm-hmm. My brain's still working to think of it. But when I'm just sitting here, okay, what's next? What's next? It's tough. Right. And I don't work that way. I don't.
And could they have picked a worser month to like do a 1 month writing challenge in November?
Yeah.
When you got Thanksgiving, and you got
my birthday.
Your birthday, that's a week in and of itself. You need 2 weeks to
There's
go Christmas shopping.
Yeah, there's no time in November. Too much stuff, and I did it for years. I've only missed like a couple, 2 or 3 maybe in like 15 years of doing it. I wrote some good books during it, or at least wrote that 50,000 words worth of those books and stuff. But I mean, I still have like 2 of them that are still not even 50. I hit my 50, but those books are longer books. Yeah, and I just never went back to them because I hated those books so bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would do it because when I was doing the Mando Method podcast with Chuck, it was also busting his balls to get him to do it, to get him to write. But then I was like, why am I I'm torturing myself doing this, really?
It was like I was on the side and I'm like, sweep the leg. And you're like,
right.
What are you talking about? Yeah. I'm like, no mercy. And then you went in and swept Chuck's leg.
Fucking swept his leg. Chuck fell on his fat ass, and that was it.
Couldn't write no more.
Right. Yeah, Chuck did the NaNoWriMo that one time, and then like all of December he didn't write like a word.
It was like a few months. Like it really threw him off.
Yeah, it really mentally just wiped him out. Well, then you're doing that, and you're on that roll of 50,000 words. But then we get into December now. Now it's Christmas shopping. Now it's Christmas parties every friggin' Friday or Saturday night. Then it's Christmas, so it's like December's even worse. If you haven't finished your book, now you got to put it aside till January or February anyway. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing is just nuts. But I decided, like, I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't need this. I think you're the one who said NaNoWriMo is for people who don't write. Yeah. NaNoWriMo is for people who once a year go, I'm going to write something. Yeah. And never finish it. So it is that. There was a lot of we had a lot of food. Ben said, "Great food." It was. I mean, Shelley is always the hero of this because she always says, "What if something happened and I couldn't be here?" And I said, literally, it would just be cold cuts. It would be ham and salami and cheese, and here's Here's some bread.
Spam.
And, yeah, no spam in my house. And that's literally what we're eating, you know. Like that's, what do we have for dinner? I'm making a Monte Cristos and pork roll sandwiches.
Hungry man dinner.
Literally, yeah, exactly. Here, everybody, pick a microwave dinner. There's the microwave. Help yourself. Yeah. Here's a couple boxes of Oreo cookies, and you're done.
It would be like, you could turn that into a game show, like Naked and Afraid. It's like writing and fucking hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
What happens when you put 10 hungry guys in your house who don't know how to cook for themselves?
We did, and we did go through a lot of snacks. I mean, people were, and a lot of coffee. Not as much as we normally do.
No,
with coffee,
well,
there was still a lot of coffee.
Yeah, I could definitely see the bin had dwindled down.
Yeah, definitely.
Visually,
Steakums, yeah, I could, but ghetto steakums. So just a steakum, half a slice of cheese on it, flip it, then you throw it on a piece of white bread, fold the half of white bread, and there's your sandwich. And it'd be just like 2 at a time. Let's go. Get in line.
I don't want to
just stand at the
last steakum when the pan is like half full of steakum grease.
Just grease.
The bread just disintegrates to nothing when you slap it on it.
Yeah, that's at that point. The last couple, you get a full piece of cheese. Hopefully, to soak up some of that. Yeah, but yeah, like our both refrigerators are just full of leftovers right now, and my wife was giving leftovers away to people who the two mics, the two young mics that were here, they were getting. Oh, you live on your own here. You know, take this and take this, and she kept putting stuff in all the Tupperware. I'm like, they're never going to give you that Tupperware back. That's now going to be their cereal bowl or something. You know, nobody's going to think to give that Tupperware back. So you really just lost a lot of Tupperware, and that shit's expensive.
Tupperwares, yeah, it's
ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Thank you.
So, but. I had a good time. Now, do you think we're going to do this for 3 days every year?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think this would be better without anything else, just the writing part of it, mentally for you? If this was only a 2-day, or if this was like a 4-day, or longer, or a 1 day? Like,
I think 3 days is the sweet spot. I think 4 days would definitely be like you're going to start everybody pulling hamstrings.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to every year I get to Sunday and I'm like, it's kind of like pulling teeth in the afternoon. I just want this to end. People are starting to annoy me. People are chewing too loud. I want everybody out of my fucking house. You know what I mean? Like that's me. I'm like, it's just too much.
Yeah, you can see the fatigue setting in on pretty much everybody.
Yeah, Tom Duffy says Sunday everyone starts falling out. Yeah, it's like you hope you get a good Sunday morning in because you don't know how far. And I think about like say 3 o'clock, half of us were on the couch and just crashed and looking at their phones and nobody's talking to each other. It's just like I just need a moment.
Last year Sunday was brutal for me because I was like one of the last ones done.
Yeah.
And like Friday was that for me this year. I was like the next to last one done. And I know it's not like a competition or nothing, but man, when everybody's walking up and you're
still
like,
pressure,
I think you start feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was at like 3:30. I think I was got my 5,000 in. I was thank God.
Yeah.
But there's a drain too when you're trying to.
Well, you also worry like I'm looking at Sunday. It's like 3 o'clock, almost 4 o'clock, and you're looking at the board, and 2 guys are just sitting there talking, and I'm like, neither of you are done.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's on you, but you'd like everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody gets done. All this is the 4th one, and I don't think we've ever had where nobody didn't complete it, which is great.
First time caller.
First time, long time. NCC 1701. Did you make your famous French toast for MandoCon? No. We my wife. Here's the way my wife looks at this. She'll go. I'll say, oh, why don't you make? Well, let's do taco bar. And she's like, we did that last year. And I'm like, and maybe for the year between, maybe nobody's had your tacos, you know? Like, why? She has to have something different every year. And so that's funny. So there was no like, we do brunch, we do breakfast stuff Sundays, and I was like, all right, what do we do? French toast? And she's like, no, 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 we did that last year. And I'm like, so maybe Frank hasn't eaten French toast in a year. You don't know.
I haven't.
See? So, but she was like, no, 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 we're just gonna do no. And then I was like, all right, but then you got to do it simple. You can't go. We can't do pancakes then or something. Just do scrambled eggs and some biscuits and sausage and whatever else we had. Throw the thing of fruit out there. Like, don't go crazy. She actually did a lot better this year with what she actually made than what she originally was planning on making.
She can make those little breakfast cups she made next year again.
Those
no
are
problem.
good. Those I'm not a fan of, but everybody seems to like them. I think the good one this year was the potatoes.
The potato bar was off the hook.
Friday night she did potatoes, and she did really big potatoes we get from the Harold's Meat Market up here, and they're huge. And then she did cheese and broccoli. She did chili, and then she had like just your normal tums. She had bacon bits, and she had sour cream and butter and stuff like that. And you basically everybody gets a potato or more if you wanted it. And I did the cheese and broccoli.
I kind of went nuts. Yeah, cheese, broccoli, chili, bacon bits.
Throw everything.
Throw it all on. It's potato bar.
Giant potatoes fully loaded with a bunch of hot sauce. Yeah,
hot sauce too.
pretty much Tom and it was funny because Shelly's always like, well, Tom and Frank love the hot sauces, so all year she's buying hot sauce. There's like 100 of them in the house. I'm sure she didn't even pull out all of them. I'm sure there's drawers full of them.
More for next year.
And then it turns out that two other, Mike and Mike,
they were into
it too, which was good. So it was just like, all right, good. We got 4 people eating this crap.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, take it home with you because it's going to be here next year when you get here. But that was good too. And I think there was a lot of food, even with like Nick here, who only does the pescatarian, so it's only, salads and good things for you and fish. Did you take Tom to the Redneck Beach? No, we didn't. He didn't come in until later on Tuesday, but we did take him to the Redneck Southern Buffet in Callahan. So that was good. We had they had like 3 or 4 different kinds of fried chicken or different baked chicken and whatnot. We did that, and then Wednesday, while the women went and did food shopping, me and Tom rode our asses off, and then we went to Taco Lou's in Jack's Beach for scallop tacos and whatnot. So it was too hot, and I'm like, I'm not driving on Redneck Beach by myself, and my wife's busy doing all this crap, so I couldn't say to her, hey, take 2 or 3 or 4 hours out of all your stressful planning and make sure everything is right, because while she loves doing it, she also freaks out over the tiniest little thing. Tom says, almost got taken out back and buried because someone had to order unsweetened iced tea. Yeah, you go to, Chad Hoey, you've lived down here. You go to a Southern buffet, and somebody in our group with us, I won't name any names, Jess, orders unsweet tea, and you had to see the look the lady at the counter gave her, like ready to kill. I was like, oh, why are you embarrassing us like this? What are you doing?
Your Yankees showing.
Yeah. She had she had her shorts on and a sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, this is my driving outfit. I'm like, listen, that could be a drive. You are not going to a buffet wearing a sweatshirt in 95-degree weather in Florida. That's embarrassing. I should have said, and you're also not ordering unsweet tea. Like, drink some water or something, So that won't happen next year.
She'll order next year. Next year.
Yeah, next year she's not allowed to come down here unless she knows she's not ordering unsweet tea. You could literally have ordered anything else but unsweet tea. So, but we had a good time. We had it was good hanging out with everybody. We had a lot of social interaction. Yep. Although I was getting a little annoyed with let's talk about Star Wars movies and Marvel movies all weekend. That was the main theme of several people, and I just kept going to the other room. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about any of this crap. Who gives a shit? So, But it was good. We had little side conversations.
Yeah.
You got to know everybody. We had a couple of new people this year that had not been here before, so that was good, and they fit in. They it worked. So I would imagine we'll probably have roughly the same group next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an addition or two, but I don't want it. Like, I never want it to be too many people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't ever want it to be where there's like 15 of us or 20 of us in the house. And I think we would have the room because again, like Wynn showed up and he sat on the couch and wrote.
Right.
You were by yourself on the other table.
Yeah,
so, I mean, technically we would put 3 more people on that table if we wanted.
Easily.
And somebody at the counter. So I mean, we could have went from 9 writers to 15 writers, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's a lot less cookies you have to eat then.
There is that, yeah. You have to, maybe you could just like 5 really skinny people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you don't like oatmeal cookies? You can come.
Come on.
But yeah, it was I think it's just that 9 or 10 people I think is perfect for, because then after you have, it was good because we didn't have like everybody had a conversation. We had like little people were in the kitchen talking, people were in the living room talking, people were in the dining room talking, and then you kind of move around, and you have 2 or 3 good conversations going, and then when somebody who orders unsweet iced tea came back, she got into some conversations with people, so it was good. It was good interaction, and you hope everybody walks away from this like reinvigorated, like I got to get my writing in, because everybody's in different places in their writing, in their careers, and that was one of the things I talked about on Saturday morning when I had the Clay County group here, was to realize that not everybody wants to do this full time. There's that guy again. Window look.
Man, there's so much going on this year. I always complain that nothing ever happens when I get down here.
Somebody running around out there. But it's not everybody wants to do this full time. Not everybody is writing. I got to write 5 billion words a year. You know what I mean? Window look. We did that. Well, I'll look again. A little windy out there.
What's the feels like?
Huh?
What's the feels like?
It's 78 right now. We're gonna pull this up.
Yeah. Crisp degrees.
It's 78 degrees. Feels like 79 degrees. Because of the wind and everything.
Yeah.
By Friday, though, it's supposed to go back to 91, 93 on Saturday, so we'll get back to it. Ooh, my stomach is making kinds of noises and stuff. Ooh.
It's your food, baby.
Yeah,
it's kicking.
Yeah, again, it was a lot of food. I thought I did really well at some points. That is cold for Florida. Yeah, it's freezing here, 79 degrees.
It's ridiculous.
And if it stays at 79 and it stops raining, I'm opening some freaking windows in this house though.
Oh, you could definitely
79 with the wind, get that cross breeze going. That'll be really, really nice. But there were times when I was like, all right, don't snack a lot. Don't just eat and eat and eat. And I was good. But then the next thing I have like 6 chocolate chip cookies and a handful of M&Ms right after that. So I did good, but not great.
Those blueberry cookies, they were a problem. Blueberry lemon, they were, and that was like there's like 2 left in the bucket.
Eat those before you leave. Yeah,
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, so that was one of those where she was, hey, why don't you just make 2 cookies? Okay, but I'm gonna make 3 cookies. All right, and then she's like, I got this recipe. I'm gonna try this 4th cookie and see if all right, whatever. So, I mean, we still got a lot of cookies left. But people ate a lot of cookies also.
Yeah.
And it's also that weird when I'm like, hey, what do you guys want? And Ben liked them. Ben thought they were really good. And then you come up with snacks and drinks and stuff, and then tomorrow I'll go through and kind of assess what we have and don't have, and I'll be like, this wasn't even opened. Or that wasn't even, nobody ate this or whatever. Even though people are asking specifically for things, or like I got like silky milk or some shit in there, and I'm like, I'm gonna dump that down the drain. I'm like, soy milk. I'm like, I mean, at least the person who asked for it used it.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there's like a half and half in there. Like I don't like half and half. But it was fun. I get to see you, get to see Tom, get to see Nick, who I don't ever get to see. You know, once a year we do this, which is neat. And a couple other people that we thought were going to be here who are dead to me and will never get an invitation to come down. But overall, it was a good time. I like that we keep mixing in a couple of new people every year.
Yeah, that's nice. Keeps it fresh. And for 4 years now, like, from my perception anyway, there hasn't been any, like, oh, don't ever, on my part, you know, I know you hate everybody when they leave, but, you know, there's really been no, like, clash of personalities for having that many people around, which is outstanding, because then that's...
I think I think it was Saturday night, there was a 3-person conversation in the dining room, and they were talking about the Bible and religion, but they weren't arguing about it or anything. They were just having a conversation about it. And I'm like, I'm staying away from. I'm not talking about all that, and I don't like. That's one of the things in the email I sent out. Was no politics, no religion. A couple people made a couple of comments about
this, that, or the other.
And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. Let's move on. And I don't care. I don't care about, even if you're making a joke. I don't care. Even if I voted like you voted, I don't care. Right. You know, like
no, not at all.
That doesn't belong here. So
yeah, I heard some of that going on. I'm like, thank God I'm over here, because I would have just walked.
Thank God you're over there talking about the Wolverine Deadpool movie.
Yeah. I'd rather argue over that.
Right.
To be honest with you.
So that was it's funny because you got people who are like 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
15, 20 years younger than me, and they're talking about their perspective on like Marvel and movies and all these other different things, and I'm the old man that just wants to scream and yell at you that you're all wrong, and I'm like, just why am I getting worked up over something stupid? Who gives a shit? So you like Deadpool, whatever, you know?
Yeah, like somebody's talking about some like early 80s movie after telling me they were born in 93. And I'm like, dude, I was there.
Yeah, right. I was in my 20s. I got to go to the movie theater and see that. I got to go and pay like $8 for a ticket, which was ridiculous.
Stuck to the sticky floor, sitting in the cigarette burned seats.
Yeah. You don't even know what the Amboy Theaters was.
No.
Yeah.
You reclined in a fancy seat your whole life.
Yeah, right.
You had that.
Yeah, you got to pick where you sit in the theater, and we had to go in and fight through people to sit somewhere.
People come in and clean the theater after you watch a movie, and
right.
Popcorn, bubble gum on the floor.
Yeah, they cleaned it the day before, maybe. You hope.
Smoking cigarettes during the movie.
Good times, though. Good times. So that was it. So I had a good time. There's a lot to. Still a lot in my brain to process, to process.
Who's this? This person knows.
Did anyone express their opinion that Hair Nation plays way too much faster Pussycat? These kids, I don't remember who that. Who?
That's a Star Trek nerd. I believe that NCC. I think that's a Star Trek reference.
This is somebody that obviously we did talk about Faster Pussycat. Yes. You
yeah, absolutely.
You, me, and Tom Duffy had a Faster Pussycat conversation.
You know, when you start dropping Wrathchild America references, we've gone overboard.
Yes. Did that answer what was the, I don't remember who are you? That was the question, I think, really.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he saying yes, it's a Star Trek reference?
Yes, it's a Star Trek reference.
Or he said yes, the kids these days.
Yes.
No wonder why you get so confused back here when I'm talking. It's like we're...
Yeah. And now you see what it is? It's like there's a delay.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
And like somebody says something, but then I don't see it.
Look, I'm on this side of the camera today, and we need people just typing non sequiturs,
right?
Nonsense.
Yeah. If I can read every word you're typing, is this even any fun?
We have to pick up what you put down.
They do play a way too much Faster Pussycat too. I will agree with you on that.
Thank God my phone is my car radio anymore.
Oh really?
Just Bluetooth, get in the car, and I play my Amazon Music, what I want to play, and that's it.
Yeah. So we get in the car. So she's got like 12 country stations programmed.
Yeah.
And then with Hair Nation, Ozzy, and Lithium. And like those three are the ones.
Octane? You don't do Octane?
Not with her in a car, no.
Not Ozzy's Boneyard?
I do Ozzy's Boneyard. I do Ozzy, yeah. But that's like those three. And then like I get in the car by myself, and then I'll go
80s on 8, 70s on 7.
Well, we got like those too on there. So she'll kind of go through. What sucked is when we went to Philly because we rented a truck and we didn't have it. So it's like so she put on she Bluetooth her phone in anyway. So then she had like a playlist from Spotify or something with like stuff with White Lion and Mr. Big and some 70s stuff she liked. So there was like some songs on there that we both like, but there aren't a ton of bands that we both will listen to. Or there aren't a ton of songs that we both listen to. So that's always.
So you always try to find common ground when you're listening when you're.
I like rocking with Dockin. What is this, George?
Man, who is that?
Yeah.
That Star Wars nerding it out.
George Martin.
George R.R. Martin?
George R.R. Martin. Yeah, he should be writing this next book. Yeah, see? All right, that's George. Well, welcome in, George. Appreciate it.
George, your friend?
Yeah, my friend. You know George. You met George.
Yeah. Fucking George.
Fucking George, man. Fucking George. Like fucking George Lynch, but better.
We go way back, me and George.
Way back.
Way back.
Way crazy back.
Yeah.
So, but we had a great, I think overall we had a great weekend. I'm looking forward to doing it again. And we will, we will probably do it again.
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah. I'll already start thinking about it, and then I'll bother my wife a couple of times in the next couple, and she'll be like, listen, we got to go to Nashville, we got to go to Tampa, we got to go to St. Louis, we have things we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the next,
Do you really start thinking about next year's MandoCon this early?
In my head, yeah, because I'm an old man.
Yeah.
So I'm like already going, especially if I'm like, I don't want to invite this person back, or whatever. But I would invite everybody back.
Yeah.
And I'm always, the paranoia is always, I got to remind everybody what the date's going to be, even though you know the week it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 out of 4 we've had it the first
weekend
in August.
Roughly.
So that's why one person booked something else, and I was annoyed. I was like, dude, you've been here every year. You know when this is.
Well, they're known for they've done that for other things.
For other things, yeah. So they're dead to me. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that changes is because her 50th birthday is next year.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure that out. But she's like, I don't want to think about all that 12 months from now.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's only a few days from now, right? Her birthday?
Yeah, the 8th.
The 8th, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Glad I'll be around for that.
3 days. Yeah. The way the weather is, you probably won't get to fly back to Sayreville, so you'll be here. Yeah.
Right before I joined the stream, I got a thing like your flight's ready.
Oh, good.
The plane that I'm on came in at like 11, which is like encouraging because the storm was still kind of going at that. So it's looking good that I might get out of your hair today.
Yeah, pretty much we'll do this for another few minutes, and then you got to go pack, right?
I'm basically packed.
You're basically back, yeah. Figure like 2 o'clock I'll drive you.
Sounds good.
Shelly's taking a nap because she's exhausted because she's the one who did all the work for the last week
Shelly,
or so.
hands off to Shelly.
So
my God, she is the hardest worker. Of
easily. So she's like, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm like, you know what? Knock yourself out.
She earned it.
Yeah. But that was because we had people from Tuesday here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you always get the early comers.
Which is fine. I like it. I like people come. Chuck used to come early.
Kind of like revs it up for
you.
Yeah,
and that Tom, especially me and Tom are writing something together.
So
it worked out really well. But for her, she's like, I need to know. Like you have to be annoying and say, when are you guys coming? Give me a time. Are you gonna be here this day?
Itinerary.
What time? Because she's like, I have stuff to do the whole week before. The prep of the week before. We got to clean the house. The house is a mess. All that kind of garbage. So it's not a mess, but it was literally like Monday night was like, I got to finish cleaning the house. I'm like, do what? It's because the blankets on the couch. We got to fold the blankets. You think all the bedrooms, all the sheets, all the pillowcases, everything's been washed. All the beds have been remade. Friday we had the cleaning people here. They redid all the bedrooms. There's nothing out of place.
No.
We got stuff on the dining room table. I said, Worst case is I scoop all that shit up and I just throw it in the garbage or I throw it in my office. No, we can't do that. I'm like, I'm not cleaning my office. Just so you know, this is a working office. Like, it is what it is. I'm not picking up I'll pick up the hats that are lying on the floor. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not going to do all that. But otherwise, we're good. And then we'll have a couple of weeks. We'll have a break, and then we'll end up. Then we got to go to Nashville for BoucherCon, which would be good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also doing a selling block of time, like on Saturday afternoon, like.
That's right, because that's more of a networking.
12 to it's a networking thing where you're hanging out with really big, like Jeffrey Deaver will be there, and Brad Thor will be there, and Michael Conley will be there, and all the big thriller authors, and then me, I'm there. The Michael Wiley.
I was gonna say,
the Michael Wiley will be there. Yeah, so
that missed him this year.
Huh?
I missed him this year. You know, it was.
And that was one of the things like we talked about. Like, should I invite him?
Yeah.
But then I was like, I think we got enough people here, and also it was like if we have 10, then we don't have to adjust the table. We can just leave the table as is. We don't have to put the leaf in it and go through all that, and then it sticks out, and then people. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
10 is right. And my daughter and her boyfriend were supposed to come last night, but they didn't with the I guess with the weather. And I was like, good, because then I would have put the kids on the kids' table over there.
Mm-hmm.
So. But anyway, it was a good time. I'm happy. I'm happy you got to spend some extra time here today hanging out.
Yep.
We watched the Weather Channel all morning together.
Oh man,
same thing over and over and over.
You could have streamed us two watching the Weather Channel, like MST3K, but with the Weather Channel.
But with oh my God, they're saying the same things over. Historical rainfall, or whatever.
You see a kid building a sandcastle.
It's literally not raining right now.
No.
I'm looking outside.
Yeah, it's vastly improved.
The grass is dry. It's a little windy. That's it. There's the fast moving clouds, but it'll be sun. By the time we drop you off at the airport, it'll be sunny.
It'll even be further improved. Yeah. It'll look like Tampa when they were trying to tell us they were about to die.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Look at these waves. I'm like
bumper to bumper cars on the driveway on the highway.
There's literally this. You got to put sunglasses on. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up now. Everybody read Exploding Bears.
I'll see you on the other side.
By Frank Edler. Also read probably the greatest thing he's ever written is the Shocker trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're also sick of Hair Nation playing Faster Pussycat a lot, you would love the Shocker trilogy.
Absolutely.
A lot of Club Benet and
Jersey base.
Jersey stuff in that one.
Take a trip to Philly real quick to throw in Tom Kiefer.
Just only to throw in Tom Kiefer for no apparent reason. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. I also want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe. Use your Twitch Prime. It is free, and it helps me out. And also follow me on the YouTube, which all the cool kids are on as well. It is also free. I would appreciate it. So, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. George Martin, thank you for hanging out, too.
George R.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin.
My guy. My dude.